interests include post-colonial studies, world literatures, translation studies, professional writing, creative writing, language teaching, career counseling, editing, and proofreading. So, Dr. Tyagaraja, the session is up to you. The stage is set for you.
Thank you, Dr. Pardy, for this wonderful welcome. At the outset, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pardy, and the team, SUIIT and Sambalpur University, for inviting me to this session, to take a session. Yesterday, I couldn't respond to your invitation to join the inaugural occasion. For that, I apologize, because I was in an institutional work over here. We are organizing one orientation program for our students for this batch. However, today, I'm happy to see around 46 participants. And Dr. Pardy, can I share my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir, you can share.
Okay, just a minute. Please let me know if you can see the screen. Hello?
Yes, sir, the screen is
It's visual. Okay. Yeah. So I would also like to congratulate SUIIT for organizing such a wonderful webinar on this day, that is capacity building and personal development of for women students. And I can see there are about 30 plus women students from SUIIT joining this occasion. I was going through your website just a couple of days back, and I could see that I'm expected to speak on basically sounds of English, the phonetics, and different kinds of sounds that we use for the speaking of English. Those communication skills doesn't necessarily have to be only about sign. It is a wide panoply of skills that it includes. But today in this session of about 1 hour and 30 minutes, we'll try to talk about the... Hello? Audible?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yeah. We'll try to talk about the sounds of English and a few aspects about the sounds of English. And I would like to make it as interactive as possible. I would invite the students to unmute themselves in between and answer a few questions so that we'll make it as interactive as possible. And I also would like to thank my teacher has joined here, Professor Himanshu Mahapatra from Utkal University. He taught me, he guided me throughout. And thank you, sir, for joining. You may also guide us throughout the session at times. Yeah, thank you, sir. So without much delay, I would like to start the session with a few questions to the students. Students, are you there? 1 or 2 responses would be fantastic. I'd like to interact with students. If 1 or 2 can unmute right now. Are you there? Hello? So, some of the students, if they can unmute and get back to, because we'll make it as interactive as possible. Hello? Okay, so here we go. Communication, since you're all BTech students, right, sir? They're all from BTech, Bachelor's of Engineering, from different streams,
yes,
like science, electronics.
Yes,
and in the first semester itself, they might have had a course called Communicative English or English Communication Skills. Right, students? Did you have it? Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Sir, if you could ask also some of the students to participate, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Right, sir. So I believe they had a course called Communicative English or English Communication, whatever could be the name. And they might have undergone a series of skill development, which includes areas like speaking English, speaking skills, listening skills, reading skills, writing skills, soft skills, interpersonal skills. Hello, students. Did you have an exposure to these skills in your first semester itself? Hello? Hello? Some of the students, if you could respond, like Achal Agarwal or Ankita Parjoshi, could you please, did you have an exposure to these skills in your first semester or second semester of engineering? Anyone can respond?
Yes, sir. To my belief, they have, Dr. Pari here, to my belief, they have that course.
They have undergone this course.
They have undergone this particular course.
Right. So what we understand by communication is basically an exchange of idea, thoughts between or among people. And here it includes the process, like we have an idea in us and we want to communicate our idea to a receiver, to a set of receivers. And the idea that we have with us, we essentially encode it into a language, not necessarily English, but any language that is common between two communicators. We have a context on which you communicate, and we have a topic and a message that we communicate across through a channel. It could be an auditory channel, it could be a visual channel, it could be an audio visual channel, and we try to see what is common between us, the sender, the one who's sending the information, and the receiver who is at the receiving end. And this process of communication becomes complete only if the receiver responds or gives his or her feedback, or the set of receivers respond to the sender, and there is no noise, no disruption, no filtration in between. If the exact message is sent to the receiver and the receiver responds exactly the way it is expected, we basically understand that it has become an effective communication. So in today's session, we'll not talk about the wide range of skills like I've listed over here. We'll talk about some aspects of speaking skills, only some aspects of speaking skills, because it sounds are not alone all the aspects of speaking English. We'll talk about the sounds, the phonetic, the alphabet that we have in English, and try to have some exercise and understand how we ought to understand the sounds of English while using a dictionary. Okay, when we look for a word in the English dictionary, we get a set of phonetic symbols and we tend to forget it, we tend to ignore it. And what happens? We try to create a sound of our own. Like all of us are essentially multilingual or bilingual. We have our mother tongue, we know 2 to 3 languages at least in India. So it is an essential requirement also. We cannot stay with only one language, we have to be multilingual. So what happens, as we are multilingual or bilingual in nature, our mother tongue or the language that we have learned from childhood, that comes into play while we speak English or write English. So the style, the grammar, the sound that we use for our mother tongue, that comes in between while speaking in English or writing in English. So what happens, we try to map one language to the grammar and sound of another language. And that is why the interference happens. But today we know English is the lingua franca. Lingua franca means the common language that connects us to the globe, connects us to the whole world. For our academic purposes, for research purposes, corporate, industrial purposes, official purposes. But you'll be surprised to know English is not the language that is spoken by the highest number of people. English is not the language spoken by the highest number of people in the world. It's Mandarin. But all of us know the role of colonialism, role of British colonialism in India and in the whole globe, for which English has come into different variants. We have American English, British English. We have our own Indian system of English. Australians speak their own English, but there is a variety of English present across the globe. We'll try to understand certain sounds that ought to be neutralized in all of us so that this lingua franca that we use, the common language of English that we use, can be intelligible pan India and also across the globe, because we're all engineering students in different streams like computer sciences, electronics, and other domains. It would be of immense value to you, because after you graduate, your workforce would be different. Workforce would be multilingual, and you'd be expected to rather work on diverse fields in different countries. Your clients could be Americans, clients could be Australians, clients could be Canadians, client could be Indians also. So unless you have this lingua franca with you, an efficient or effective speaking communication, of course, writing communication as well, it would be difficult for us to communicate across our ideas, business ideas, and thoughts. So let's begin with this session. So now I would like to have some responses from students. Students, it would be really great if you could unmute yourself and start pronouncing a few words that we have. Can you see the screen? Hello? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the left-hand side, I have 3 words. Okay. Can you pronounce those? First one, this one.
Chalk.
Chalk. Okay. Second one.
Chef.
Chef. And third one.
Chows.
Chaos. It's not chaos. It is chaos. Okay.
Okay.
Chaos. So fine. That's absolutely fine. So look at this first set of letters. CH. Okay. Here. CH. Here again. CH. Here you look at this set of words. First one is
Sight.
sight. Second one is
Cat.
cat. So for the same C, you have a sa and you have a ka. Here for the set of CH, you have a cho, cha, then sha, then ka. That means it itself tells us that the letters that we have in English have got absolutely nothing to do with the sound that we produce. Clear? Like in Hindi or Odia or any other language that we use, our mother tongue, whatever we write, it is the same thing that we speak, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So what we write is what we speak. But in case of English, what happens? We have a set of letters to write, but those letters are not necessarily the sounds to be spoken out. That is where the problem of pronunciation comes, right? From the childhood, we are introduced to the letters of English, the alphabet. How many letters in the alphabet we have? Simple, 26 letters. Out of which, how many are vowel letters? Hello?
So,
21?
5 vowels.
Okay, 5 vowels, 21 consonants. Okay. So we are introduced to only the letters and not much to the sounds. So what happens, we take the grammar of language system of Odia or Hindi and try to analyze English. So here is another example. This is U. The first letter is U here. Okay. So BUT is but PUT is not put, it is put, right? Same way. Now, many people ask us, some of your friends, some of your teachers, some people at your home also might have asked you, English is a funny language. Have you heard of it? Hello? Anybody has
Yes,
heard of
sir.
it? English is a funny language. Why? Because it doesn't correspond to the kind of sound that we understand in our Indian context. In the Indian context, what happens? What we write is exactly what we speak. So there is hardly any confusion in speaking and writing. But in case of English, what happens? We are not introduced enough to the sounds. We are just introduced to the letters. And that is where we make the confusion. Okay, that is where we make the mistake. Like, you cannot put the grammar of Sanskrit into Hindi or the grammar of Hindi into Odia. Or the same is with English. Every language has its own grammar, has its own structure, has its own sound system. So when you try to analyze the sound or grammar of one language with another, when you take the yardstick of Odia to judge English, it will always look like English is a funny language. Here also, psychology starts with P, and pneumonia also starts with P. Now it looks funny, right? Looks funny? Hello? That is
Yes.
why people have the problem. Why it starts with P? Why should there something we call a silent letter? Letters are different, and we'll try to understand what is the mechanism to understand sound. I would like to ask some of you, like, how would you decide? Is it the dilemma most people have? Is it an MP or a MP? When you write in English, do you write a MP or an MP? Hello?
Yes, yes. So I
Is
think
it
this is an MP.
an MP? And students, a university or an university? Hello? Please respond. If it goes wrong, what is the problem? Yeah. Is it some guesses? Is it an MP? Sorry, a university or an university? Hello? Quick response. Some of you, please.
Sir, a
Do
university.
a university. Now, when Sir said it is an MP and when you said it is a university, what is the rule that you decide? On what ground you thought that it should be you as a and MP as an? What is it? What is the mechanism behind that? Where do you use an? Where do you use an? When the subsequent sound is a vowel sound, right? Okay, not the letter. Here the letter is U, but what is the sound? Sound is ya. It is not U. It is ya. Here the letter is M, but the sound is, what is the first sound? A. It looks like the letter is M, but it is A. The first sound is A. But if I write he is a member of parliament or he is an member of parliament? Hello?
Yeah,
He is
usually he is a member.
he's a member of parliament, because when I write member, the first sound that comes to us is ma, not a. But when you write the abbreviation MP, the first sound that comes to us is a, not ma. So essentially what happens, it is the sound in English that makes this change from a to an and n to a, right? Here also we have u, but the sound is not u, it is ya. Ya is a consonant sound. Today we'll try to understand what are these consonant sounds, what are the vowel sounds, and how do we transcribe those sounds. Okay, in the English alphabet, we all know that we have only 26 letters. But to pronounce all the words in English, the words existing in English so far today, we have got something called the International Phonetic Alphabet. The letters are 26, but we have 44 sounds in English. Okay, we'll try to understand how these 44 sounds of English work to make, to rather pronounce English sounds. So these 44 sounds are divided into two groups again, the vowel sounds and the consonant sounds. Okay, so what are vowel sounds and what are consonant sounds? Let us try to understand. So whenever you speak something, what is the mechanism to speak something? Basically, a stream of air comes out of you, right? And that passes through your lungs, passes through your throat and speech organ, and end of it, you produce a sound. If the sound that you produce comes only after hitting somewhere or blocking somewhere in your speech organ, that is called a consonant sound. For example, suppose a sound called pa, right? Pa or ka. While you're pronouncing this term with this sound, you have a blockage or you're hitting somewhere in your speech organ. Like when you say pa or ta, there is a hit somewhere. Pa over here at the lips. But when you speak something like eh, oo, there is no kind of a blockage anywhere. There is uh, no blockage. The whole stream of air that you bring out, it comes straight inside you, straight from inside you, and produces a sound without hitting anywhere in the speech organ. So that is how we try to differentiate between what is a vowel sound and a consonant sound. The consonant sound would necessarily make a blockage, would make a, there is one exception, of course. There is a sound called her that doesn't necessarily make a blockage, but the rest of it they do. But this is how we understand in the sound of English that if it hits anywhere, it is a consonant sound, and if it doesn't hit anywhere, it's a vowel sound. And the words we speak in English are combinations of vowel and consonant sounds. Vowels are again of two kinds. Vowel sounds can be of two kinds. These are called the cardinal vowels or the monophthongs, which are 12 in numbers, and diphthong sounds. So we'll take you through. Okay, this is the international phonetic alphabet. Like A to Z, you have seen, right? A B, C, D till Z. That is what you have seen as a letter. But these 44, can you see the screen? Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Can you see the screen here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are the set of 44 sounds we have in English language that help us pronounce the word. So these 12 sound symbols from here, can you see this cursor to here? These 12 are called the vowel symbols. These 8 are called the diphthong symbols, and these 24 are called the consonant symbols. So combining these symbols, we pronounce a word in English. Okay, so like what is written here? What is written here? Can you see? What is it
International
here?
Phonetic Alphabet.
Alphabet. And what is written here? Over here. What is written here?
So
Anybody
I'm
can
not
read?
able to read it.
Exactly. So it's the same thing, International Phonetic Alphabet. It is transcribed in this symbol. Are you getting it? Clear? The same thing has been written in its sound form. Okay. It is international, this is phonetic, and this is alphabet. But here I have used these symbols and not the letters in English. Okay. Got it? So today we'll try to understand how these symbols are used to understand the sound. Okay, like this one. First one, can you see what is written here?
So ship.
Ship or sheep? Which one?
So that vowel side ship is written.
Huh. So it is ship or it is sheep? Which one? There are two. This one is
Oh,
ship. This one is
yes.
sheep. Okay.
Hmm.
So when you have two dots over here, this is a long vowel, right? And when you do not have it, it is a short vowel. So the essential sound is E. E. Okay. And it's a longer version of E, and this is a short E. The same way, it is a short U, and this is a long U. Like the words are written here, this is Good. This is, what is
Shoot.
it? Shoot. So the oo is slightly longer, right? It's not shoot. It is shoot. Okay. And this is not good. This is good. Are you getting the difference? So this
Yes,
is a
sir.
short one. This is a longer one. This is a longer one. This is a shorter one. Like this symbol is the sound for a, bed, a. Okay, these are only vowel sounds. This is a, and this symbol is for a. Can you see the letter underlined here? There's a letter underlined here, right? This is exactly the sound that corresponds. Okay, so this symbol talks about the sound a, teacher. Okay, this is a short a, whereas this is a longer a. How do you pronounce this word? B-I-R-D.
The bird.
Bird. Longer a. Girl. Word. Word. Right. These are longer us. Whereas this is a short one. What is it? It's not teacher. It is teacher. Got it? Short a. This is long a. Like that. This is door. What is the sound? What is the sound all about? Oh, door. And this is cat. So this is how we'll try to match some of the sounds that correspond to these words. Okay, this is cat. Can you give me some more words that sound like a?
Bat. Mat.
Bat. Then
Mat.
bat. Good. Mat. Okay. Good. Let's go to the next one. What is it?
So up.
It's not. What is the difference between this one and this one? Can you check? This is teacher. This is up. Done. D-O-N-E. How do you pronounce that? D-O-N-E. D-O-N-E. How do you pronounce?
Done.
Done. It is not done. It is done. G-U-N is
So what?
G-U-N.
Gun.
Gun. G-O-N-E. G-O-N-E. Is it gun or gone?
So gone.
Gone. So there's a difference between gone and gun.
Yes.
So that in between ga and na in G-U-N gun, that is represented through this symbol gun. And it's a straight father. Okay, father. Can you give me some more examples?
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I can't hear anything. Could you please raise your voice?
Can't you listen? Sir, Dr. Padi, is there any problem in the sound?
No, sir.
Could you please check your mic, check your speaker in your system?
Okay.
Okay, because rest are getting it. Yeah, so we are here. Father, car, right? The sound is and this is a sound on, like on, call, on, C-O-L-L, always, right? O, the sound is O. So how many vowels we have? How many vowel sounds we have so far?
12.
12 vowel sounds. So mark it, when you pronounce these sounds, there is no hit in the speech organ. There is no blockage. There is no trite, sheep, ship, only the vowel sounds. The vowel sounds do not have any blockage. Okay, they help the consonant sounds to be pronounced. In the right hand side, we have the diphthong sounds. How many are there? 8. Diphthong sounds are those which are combination of two vowel sounds. Like when you combine This one. What is this one? What is the sound here? What is the sound here?
So ship.
No, just the vowel sound. Ship is the total word, but the vowel is E. Right?
E.
The vowel sound is E, right? Got it?
Yes.
The vowel here is E. And this vowel is
A.
no. Check it. Teacher. Are you getting it? This is short this is long Okay. So when you combine E with okay, first one is E. Second one is So when you combine these two sounds, you produce ear. Ear, right? So this is the diphthong sound called ear. So you use this diphthong sound while pronouncing words like here, dear, near, fear, right? Give me some more words. Give me some more words. Hello? Give me some more words like here, clear, dear. What else? Are you getting it? Confirm? Hello? Are you getting the sounds here? Here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this diphthong sound is a combination of which one? This one. Okay. This one and this one. These two. So what is the sound here?
Sir, E.
It looks like E, but the symbol suggests that it is A. Right. BED is not bit, it is bed. Right. BED is bed. So this symbol that you see here, this symbol talks about the sound A. Okay. A, and this one is hello. This one is A, this one is hello. This one is we have already discussed E. When A and E combine together, A, E. So they combine together and they produce only one sound. That's called A. A. Okay. So what is the word here? Given here? Wait. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Wait. Let me give you a couple of more words that correspond to this diphthong sound. Like Train. How do you pronounce? Train. Hello? Train, simple. Okay, Plain or Plane. How do you pronounce?
So can you please repeat?
Train. Train, right? Train. Plane. Train. Right? Grain. All these sounds, the diphthong sound in between is A. Are you getting it? A. Here it is ear, here it is A. Like this, when you combine these vowel sounds, we produce one diphthong sound. Are you getting it? When you combine E and A, E and E and E, this one E and this one A, it becomes A. When you combine E and it becomes ear. When you combine A and E, it becomes A. When you combine oo, this one is oo, right? Good. With it becomes ooer, tour. Okay, tour. Hello? This is T-O-U-R is not tour, it is tour. Okay, like that, you combine this sound O with this sound E, it becomes O and E together, they make oi. So the sounds are like boy, toy, koi, doy, like that. Okay. I getting it? Any doubts so far? Yeah, yeah. Ask me, ask me. Hello. I think there was a question. Hello. I think there's a
No,
question. No, no question. Okay, let's go
no
ahead.
question.
And the ones in the pink you can see here, these are consonant sounds. Okay, these are consonant sounds. We'll have an activity in the next slide. Well, you will be identifying the words with their phonetic symbols. Okay, this one is a consonant sound, P. It's very simple. It looks like P and it is also P. Okay, this is B. This is the, these are not letters. To tell you again, these are not the English letters. This letter and this sound and this sound, they look like p and b, but they are actually symbols for the sound p. This is for the sound b. This is for the sound t, for d. And this one you can see, this is a consonant sound. Okay, this is, mark this word. What is there written on side? Cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, cheese. So this symbol corresponds to the sound cha. Cha. Okay, this doesn't look like an English letter, right? This
Yes.
one corresponds to cha, and this one again corresponds to, how do you pronounce June?
June.
June. So the ja, this is the ja sound for June. Okay, like that you have seen this sound already. In mathematics, you have already used it, right? What is it?
Theta.
Theta, right? So this symbol is used to understand the sound called th, think. Okay, like that in the next slide, let me take you through one set of activity. Now here I have written, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have written certain IPS symbols. I've combined certain IPS symbols, and your job is to identify what is the word. Okay, now in the right hand side, you have the symbols ready with you. In the left hand side, you have the combination of the symbols. And from these symbols, you'll identify what is the word here. So some of you please try. You can see the screen, right? So this one is, which one? Can you see this? Hello? The first symbol here you have is that of pa. Okay. The second symbol is that of which one? Check it, this one. What is the second one? Hello? What is the second one? La. Love. Okay. When you combine pa, la, and the diphthong sound, this one, what is this sound? Can you see the cursor here? A. Okay. When you combine pa, la, and a, what will happen? What is the sound you get? Which word do you get? Which word do you get? Pa, la, a. Play. Are you getting it? E-L-A-Y. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
But what happens in the English spelling? You have P-L-A-Y. But when you search for this word in the dictionary, I'll take you to a dictionary right now. Okay. You can also use it on your phones or your laptop. Let me take you to Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, I'll share another screen here. I'm sharing a dictionary with you now. Can you see the dictionary? Cambridge Dictionary? Hello?
Yes,
Can you see the Cambridge Dictionary on your screen?
yes, sir, we can.
Okay. Now, let me write the word T-L-A-Y. Okay. After you write this word, can you see this setup symbol? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, these symbols are those IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. These are the symbols from IPA, 44 sounds. So, all the sounds in English that you will have a transcription like this, which will let you know the sound of English. Suppose, give me a word in English. Give me a word.
Fun.
F-U-N. Okay. Now you see what is the spelling here and what is the sound here. This one. This one is the symbol we discussed right now about gun. Okay, gun up. Right. So you have the fa, you have the na, and you have this a in between. So it is fun. It's not fun, it is fun. One more, suppose. What is it? Do you see there's a difference between this one and this one? Okay. This sound represents ka. This sound represents a, short a. The third sound represents ma. Okay. The fourth sound represents pa. So come, pa. The fifth sound represents ya. The sixth sound represents u. The seventh sound represents ta. The eighth sound represents a. And ninth sound represents ra. So how many sounds there in total in this word? Count it. How many are there? 1. Hello? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all 9 different sounds of English out of the 44 symbols, 44 sounds available with us. 9 sounds have come together to make this pronunciation of the word called computer. Computer. Though the letters are this much, the sound, total sound is a combination of 9 different sounds. Okay, the total word is about the combination of 9 different sounds. So I'll take you to the previous screen again, and I would ask you to identify which are these words. Now you check it. Hello? Now, first one is play. Second one is from the right hand side, you try to identify what is the sound and try to understand which one it could be. And if you understand the 44 sounds of English, you look for any word in the dictionary of English, Cambridge, Oxford, whichever, you'd be at ease to understand the exact pronunciation of any sound in English. What is it here? This is a consonant sound. Okay, first one is a consonant sound. Where it is? This one. How to pronounce this? how to pronounce this? There's a word given here. Hello. What is the first sound? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So what is the first sound here? We're trying to understand the sounds of English, right? Pronunciation.
Yeah.
So students, what is the first sound? Hello? What is this first sound? Ka. Ka. Second one is this one. Right? E. Ka, E become ki. Third one, you see this one. What is the sound? This just now we discussed. What is the sound? Hello?
Ch.
Ch. So ka, E, ch. Okay. So ka followed by E followed by ch, then a. This one is a. Which one? Where it is? This one, teacher. So last one is this one. So how many sounds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is the word here? Try. Kit. Then
So kitchen.
very nice. That is the answer. Kitchen. Okay. So Kitchen, that is the spelling. Okay. But when you look for this word in the dictionary, you'll see this one. Okay. So in order to understand the sound of any word, you got to know the sound symbols here, so that you'll visit the dictionary or online dictionary that you have with you. Just now we discussed this one, computer. Last one you try, this one. What it could be? Take 2 minutes and identify, maybe 1 minute and identify what is the last word here. What is this word? Okay, take 1 minute and identify from the symbols given here what it could be. Anyone with the answer? Yes? It's 1 minute already. Anybody could guess the word here? What is this sound? Here? O. Okay. This one is Where it is? This one. What is the sound here? G. Okay. Third one is A. Ogre. Ogre. In three sounds, you got ogre. Then fourth one is na. Fifth one is this one. Where it is? It's a diphthong sound. I, my, try. Okay. So organize. Organize. You can guess the rest. Organize.
Organization.
Organize.
Organization.
Organization. Okay. So this sound is Z. Where it is? It's a consonant sound Z. There's a difference. There are three similar kinds of words. We call them problem words. This one Z. This one is Ja. And here is another, the third one, television. Ja. Okay. VISION, vision. It is not vision, it's not vision, it is vision. Okay, so these three are a little, at times they're a little complex. At times they confuse people which one is to be used at what. Like ZOO is zoo, but it's not television, it is television. So with regular practice, we can identify the difference. It's a ja, this is za, this is ja, vision. Okay, similarly, there are other two words, so the two sounds. One is sa, another is sha. This is sha, English or English. Which one is correct? English or English? Hello?
English.
English. So that last sha is transcribed like this. Sha, English, British, Spanish, sha. Okay. Whereas we have another sa. This is C. C. So if I write here, this is C. Whereas this is she. Right? So there is one tongue twister that we most of us use. She sells seashells on the seashore. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? This one is sa or sha? Hello? This is sha or sa?
This is show.
Sha, she. It's not C, it is she. She, this one is sa or sha?
So
Sa. So she sells. This one? Is it she or C? Hello? This is simple, sa, C. This is shells, shell, on the sea shore. So she sells seashells on the seashore. Okay, sa, sha, like that. So if you understand these symbols, the ability to understand the sound of any word will be easier for all of us. So these are the answers we have already discussed. This is play. Okay. Hello. This is play. This is kitchen. This is computer. This is organization. For your convenience, let me go back to the dictionary again. Okay, and you'll be able to understand properly. Let's see the dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary once again. Give me a word in English. Yeah, give me a word in English. Anyone? Okay, let's take this word itself. What is this? How many sounds are there? Can you identify? Yeah. First one is, hello? Pa. Second one is ra. Third one is a. So 3 together become pra. This is na, a, na, pranan. Then sa, e becomes si. Then a, it's a diphthong sound. Then shan. So what is it? Pronunciation. Are you getting it? It's not pronunciation, it is pronunciation. Got it? So when you type this word or any word in English, or search for any word in English in a dictionary, you'll get these symbols. Okay. Most of us, we ignore these symbols. We simply go down to the meaning of the word. So when you search for the meaning of the word, we get the meaning of the word, but meanwhile we miss the word, miss the sound of the word. Okay, so when you miss the sound of the word, we tend to mispronounce at times. At times we are not aware, like somebody in the beginning said CHAOS. When I asked what is the pronunciation of CHAOS, the answer was chaos, because he didn't probably care for the sound of this word. It has gone deep into our mind. CHA would be cha most of the time, but it's not necessarily true. But when you look for this word in the dictionary, okay, when you look for this word in the dictionary, you'd get to know exact sound first, ka, right? Then only it will be chaos. So if we ignore these sounds, it is quite likely that we will mispronounce. Now, point is it necessary to pronounce the way the British would pronounce? What is your point of view? Do you think that we should essentially pronounce like the Americans or the British or the Australians? How should we pronounce? Is it necessary that we should pronounce like, fine, we got to know all the 44 sounds. I'll share this slide with Dr. Paddy. Okay, so after getting to know the 44 sounds, would you be in a position to identify the sound if you try for a few months? Would you be in a position to identify? Can we do it? Or it looks like more complex in mathematics? Like you have so many formulae in mathematics. Is it comfortable for you? Do you think that all the people who speak good English or they have good pronunciation, they know the sound symbols? There are two ways. One is if you listen to good English, suppose you watch good movies, British movies, or you listen to good speeches where people are uttering certain standard English, automatically your ears train them, right? Either you read these symbols and get to know how to pronounce, or you train your ears with good English throughout, right? Like when you listen to good English, it will automatically train your mind. How do you write good English? By reading good books, right? If you read good books, you'll have so many. Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you read good books, what happens? How many of you are readers, good readers? I'm not asking if you have read, let us see, C programming. Good books means, do you read fiction? Do you read non-fiction also? Do you read books? Do you pick up a book and read, like once a month maybe? Do you read newspapers or magazines? Do you read those
Yes, sir.
things? Huh? Yes. So when you read books, what happens? You become comfortable with new words. You become comfortable with the style, the grace of the words. You become comfortable with the structure of the sentences, paragraphs, the discourse. You don't only get the ideas and thoughts, new ideas. You also acquaint yourself to varieties of English available. So tomorrow when you write something or speak something, those things automatically strike you. Those things that you have read in a novel or in a non-fiction prose maybe, or in a good journal maybe, So those things come back to you while you utilize these words, right? So it's essential not just to learn these symbols, but to also add ourselves to good English sounds and good books, because these are the inputs. Without inputs, we'll not have a good output. If you just go on reading the course materials that we have with us, suppose you are a computer science student, you'd be trained in computer science domain. Suppose C, C++, Java, .NET. These are things you'll be studying for your core skills, for programming skills. But to enrich your English, to enrich your vocabulary, to enrich your style of communication, expressions, you need to have some good inputs. And those inputs will be through good books, through good reading habits, through listening to good people. You don't have a dearth of good people speaking to you nowadays. You're always on internet. You catch up to TED Talks at times. You catch up to British television at times, and you get to train your ears with good English. Okay, so one thing is you try to hone your skills with the sounds available with us through IPA symbols. Second is you listen to good English. People will consider good, like the language you speak today is the result of the language you have listened to throughout the last 20 odd years of your life, right? If you are in a good environment at times, right, you simply get into the environment. In 2 years time and a 1 year time, your English sounds better because you listen to good English. And third one is you read good books, right? Good books is a very relative term. Which books you would like? Suppose you like fiction, you read it, right? You don't like fiction, you like, suppose, non-fiction prose, you read it. You read good newspapers at times, magazines at times, you read columns. So what happens? You're acquainted towards proper or stylistic expressions, the same thing that can be rather expressed in an elegant way, that will make a mark to your expressions, right? So only through reading, only through listening to people, and through some exercise of sound training, we can speak good English. Communication skills is not just sounds. There are a lot of other things which we invest about 40 hours of classes to train students towards effective communication, not just sounds. It's also about writing, it's about reading, it's about soft skills, it's about discussing with people, it's about presentation skills, it's about enriching your skills, reading skills and writing skills with good books, reviewing books. So there's so many aspects. 40, 50 hours of our class we invest, but that's not again enough. The students have to invest their time learning continuously. So it is not a product, it's a process. Right? It's a process of your investment, your engagement with literature, your engagement with the language, engagement with people, with ideas and thoughts. Right? When you discuss things with people, so what happens? Gradually your ears start, your brain start accommodating new things, and there comes a time 6 months down the line, 10 months down the line, or 1 year down the line, you start feeling comfortable about the ideas, comfortable about the language you're utilizing. Okay, so it's just an introduction, but you tune in yourself towards good books, good speakers, okay, and gradually you'll see the results in few months time or maybe in a year's time. Some people will take shorter time, some will take longer time. There's no shortcut medicine for that. Okay, so that is how I rest my presentation here. There are other things also to talk about, but I believe I'll share this slide with Dr. Padi, and also I would expect you to engage with this session, with further sessions if possible ever, and try to understand the sound symbols. However, side by side, read good books. Maybe once in 2 months, you pick up a book. Maybe 2 books in a year, you pick up and read. Gradually, you'll see the difference in a couple of years' time. So that's all from my end. I would now expect students who have been part of this session for the last 2 months now to respond, to ask questions if you have anything, or if you want to know something more. Any question if you have, please ask. I know there is a session at 11:30, so I want to just wind up here and listen to you so that we can have an interaction also. There is another session, Dr. Padi, right? 11:30?
Yes, sir. It's 11:30.
Yes, so we'll at least leave them for 5 minutes before the session. So
Yes, sir.
students, for 10 minutes, we open for discussion. If you have any question, please ask. I have my teacher here as well, Sir Professor Himanshu Mahapatra. Sir, if you could also add to this.
Yes, sir.
Professor Himanshu
Sir,
Mahapatra.
It's our great pleasure to have Dr. Himanshu Mahapatra, sir, from Utkal University over here with Dr. Tyagras.
Sir,
Very good morning, sir. And I, Dr. Subhranshu Pari, welcome you to SUIIT, the Sambalpur University Institute of Information Technology, Bulla. We are
Sir, you're muted. If you could unmute your mic, Professor Mahapatra. If you could unmute yourself, we can see your photo, but not we're not able to listen to you. If you could unmute. Professor Mahapatra, sir, could you unmute your device? Yes, got it, sir.
Okay.
okay.
Thank you, Dr. Padhi.
Yes, sir.
For your
our pleasure.
Nice words of welcome. I was very, very glad to listen to Dr. Tyagras Thakur. He has, in fact, become an expert on the subject of phonetics, on English sounds, and I'll be very honest in admitting that I have no such expertise. I just take a layman's interest. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I get it.
Just a layman's interest in how English is spoken. Now, of course, I have been an English teacher all my life, and I take interest in communication. But then sounds of English, when we study phonetics as an academic subject, I am always a little apprehensive. And of course, Dr. Thakur did a tremendous job, and he approached the topic very scientifically and very systematically, and nobody else can do anything different or any better than that. But I just, I was thinking about something, something struck me as he was making his presentation. There is one aspect of speaking English for which the knowledge of sounds of English is not an adequate preparation. I'll just give you one example. How about English names? When it comes to speaking English names, now let us imagine a student from Odisha goes to England to work in a company or to work, at an IT sector, and then he or she finds himself or herself amidst native speakers of English. There are names in English, place names and names of persons that he or she has to know. How will he or she go about that? I'm giving an example because when I went to England in the 1980s, my university was situated in a city. The pronunciation, the spelling of that name, the spelling of that city was Norwich. Norwich. And obviously I started calling it Norwich. But then I found that nobody understood me. When I said Norwich, they corrected me and said, do you mean Norwich? Norwich. So it is not Norwich. Similarly, a place in England called Gloucester. the spelling is Gloucester. So normally, an Indian student of English or an Indian student would pronounce it as Gloucester. But then he would go and find that it is being pronounced as Gloucester, Lister, not Leicester. This is about place names, but also about the names of persons. For example, students of English know that there was a man called Samuel, Pepis. We, grew up calling him Pepys, Samuel Pepys, who popularized or who, made the diary a very important form in English literature. So we we are used to calling him Pepys. But when I went to England, I found that it was not Pepys, it was Pips. So I was a little, worried about that. Said, no matter how trained we are in the sounds of English, this will not really prepare us for a number of other things, in a foreign culture or in a different culture that we can only learn by way of interaction. So this is, I think, Dr. Thakur pointed it out very well. He harped on it when he said that we need to be exposed to good English spoken by native speakers or good English written by good English writers, so that we can improve in this particular area. So these are my observations, and I thank all of you for giving me a chance to share my ideas with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Honored, sir. Right.
Yes, sir. Thank you
So
for your.
that summed up. Right. So those 5 minutes summed up the whole session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Any question from students we have? I think we do not have any question. Looks like.
Yes, sir.
Thank you from my side, Dr. Padi.
Yes, sir. So from the Sud fraternity and the staff and student fraternity, I, Dr. Pari, thank Dr. Tyagras Thakur as well as Dr. Himanshu Mahapatra for their excellent session conducted for this. And this particular webinar is sponsored by National Commission for Women, and who emphasized the women empowerment in university level by providing them life skills. Yesterday we had some life skills, so regarding preventing heart attack by using CPR and AED and all those stuff. So these life skills are much more important nowadays, soft skills, rather than the technical know-how or technical expertise. Even I also agree with Dr. Mahapatra. When I was in Cape Town, I also had a very peculiar experience of multilingual interaction between different people of African origin, of Africa's different countries. They have a different set of pronunciation. So it was also very hard to catch up with some of the stuff they used to tell. In Cape Town, in Nigeria, all they have a typical set of pronunciation and typical set of sentence.
Yes.
So that's all are the differences we face in day-to-day life. As the girls progress into their professional life, I hope they will be able to make up with all these issues, and these lectures will be of beneficial for them. Thank you very much.
Dr. Padhi, I just want to quickly draw your attention to the fact that I'm a former student of Sambalpur University. I did my master's I was a student from 77 to 79.
Yes, sir.
The English department, and I was a student of English department of Sambalpur University.
Yes, sir.
So I in fact cherish my memories of Sambalpur very, very dearly and very.
Yes, sir. Sir, at that time you were residing in Bulla or Sambalpur, sir?
No. I was staying on the campus itself.
Campus itself.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
yeah.
So we invite you to have a look over here because lot more has changed and all. You
Yeah, I
can
have been
read.
there. I have been there a number of times.
Yes,
Although in
sir.
the last couple of years, I have not been able to pay a visit because of the
Yes, sir. The pandemic.
restrictions imposed by the pandemic.
Yes, sir.
But I used to go there. I used to go there
Yes,
from time to time, and I
yes,
have very pleasant memories of my later association also.
yes, sir.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you, and it was a
Yes.
pleasure taking part in this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr.
Tyagarajan,
Kari.
Dr. Mahaprabhu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks to all students for being here. All the members of staff as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we now have our next speaker, Mr. Soumya Naik with us. He has joined. And Mr. Soumya Naik, he just a minute, sir. So, Dr. Soumya Naik is an Associate Director of Enterprise Network and Services Private Limited, Pune, and he has done his PE in Electronics from Pune University and MBA in IT from Symbiosis. He carries an 18 plus experience in IT and business development arena, standing as an IT Associate Director in a financial MNC. So I welcome Dr. Soumya Naik, and our director sir will be shortly joining with us. The stage is all sir, yours sir.
Thank you. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. If not, do let me know. I'll plug in my mic. Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are all audible and the students are all ears.
Oh, great. Good morning to everyone. Let me quickly get my slide up. Give me a second. I'm just trying to bring the slide up.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes sir, well and clear. Yes sir, it's visible.
Sure. I'll just get this started.
Yes sir, slides too. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, good morning to everyone. This is Soumya Naik. I'm sure the brief which has been given by Dr. Subhanshu is enough for you to understand what I do, where I come from. But do let me know if you have more queries about how have I reached here. Okay, just stop me anywhere you want to have question before I start the session. A few ground lines. Do stop me wherever you have a question. Do make it an interactive session instead of a one-way traffic. Okay, I do not prefer that. Unless and until we speak both way, we will not able to understand what is happening. Right? So here I am to talk about how to choose a career, not specific to any domain. We will talk in flash for everything. And at the end of the session, I will also talk about how to pick a career wisely, right? As per your interest. Make sense? Okay. Identifying a career. Guys, whatever being mentioned in the PPT, I will talk more than that. So do stop me wherever you feel so, right? So the hardest thing that you'll ever do, and the exciting one too, is making your career choice. Unless and until you make the best out of it, you'll always think the other one could be the good one, right? So when you make a career choice, ensure you take a part in it. Okay, you don't just go ahead and get what you are getting on the way. You get inside, come prepared, think over it. So ground rules. One, opt a career that you'll really like to do. Research and choose carefully and thoughtfully. Make it meaningful to you. Okay, I'll give you a small example. When you're a kid or during your young age, when you get into the ground, you have a lot of things to play. Starting from cricket, football, hockey, badminton, etc., etc. But you prefer to choose one of them which you are best at. That's how you have to choose your career. The one which makes you to do good. The one which you feel, if I do this, then this is where my interest lies in, and I am going to get more out of it, more out of me. So that's what we say. When you choose a career, right? You should take it on what you really want to do, not that what comes in your way. Research on it. Are you going to the best player? If you do this, then think over it. Is it a meaningful one? Is it the one that you want to do? If not, you have some options around it. So, in the career path, you'll always have an option to move on, come back, then ride onto it, accelerate it. But the best thing that you should start with is think over it. Are you going to do it from your heart, from your mind, from your soul? Makes sense? Go for it. If not, stay back. As it says, you owe it to yourself to look for work, whatever best you can. Yeah? Okay. Unless you have any questions, guys, I took a pause just to ensure you have any questions or not on the first slide. So, going to the next one. So, we will keep talking about your interest and the arena that you'll get into. Okay. So, always try to match that. What is your value? Okay. If you want to help others, think of a career where you can help others. Okay, you want a prestigious job, as in you want to be CEO of a company, think of it, get into the management line of it. Okay, you want to a high income job wherein, okay, now you must be hear about a lot of into artificial intelligence or a lot in the banking sectors which are making new products coming in line. They're all high paid jobs, right? So think of that. What is that really drives you? One of the last one, flexible working hours. With the pandemic coming in, guys, this makes a big role to play. Okay, people feel that okay, it's not only about money. I also want a work-life balance wherein I can come back home, I sit, spend some time with family, and that's all. I don't want only money. Okay, so people prefer to have flexible working hours wherein I work only when I need. So when you do that, certainly three of the above goes for a toss, or you have to compromise for three of the above. As in, when you ask for flexible working hours, you may not have high income, you may not have that prestigious job as such, and you may not help others because you want to work. You want to work only in a flexible timing, right? Once you decide this, what do you want to do? Then you establish your values to your career choices. As in, if you want to do a prestigious job, okay, so that means you will not able to give flexible working timings. You will have a high income, maybe. You may not able to help everyone, considering your professional stuff, right? And then you pick the career you wanted to be in. Okay, sounds okay, guys? Okay, I'm moving to the next one. So, as I said, you are the best judge of yourself. Yeah, nobody else can judge you better than you. Here comes my favorite topic. So, how are you going to survive in the organization? So, with the revolving technologies, you have to be right on your toes all the time. So, you'll certainly have some control over your career, guys. As I was mentioning, you have a period wherein you can think the one which you are doing, is it the right one, or there is something else you can do it the best, right? If you feel so, you'll have some control over career. Giving an example, right? You had seen hockey and cricket. I'm not discriminating here, male, female, but you had seen hockey and cricket. So the similarity between hockey and cricket is there is a single ball and you have a bat. In hockey, there is a hockey stick. So if you are a hockey player, I'll not say you can play cricket really good, but yes, there is an opportunity that you can think of, why don't I switch the field and I can go along with it? Or similarly, if you are a footballer, you may can be a best wicket keeper in cricket. So all it says is you'll have some control over your career at every pace, at every stage. Okay. So if you feel that, okay, this is not the one I want to do, think of the one which you want to do. Okay. And try relating both. Okay. If you feel there is a connect, go for it. Think over it and go for it. And that will be the bottom scratch for you. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, there will be some risk. But to avoid the risk, you will have a risk mitigation plan. And you know you wanted to do the good there. You have to be confident about it and you have to plan for it. But when you change your field or when you are taking some risk, there will be few factors which will come in your mind. Okay, am I going to succeed in this when I change? Am I going to get the money that I'm getting today? Am I going to get the same position that I'm in? Yeah, these questions are very tricky to answer, and it's going to it's going to take some time. Okay, when you change things, when you change the gear, it's going to take some time. So do remember, you will have control over your career to switch, to go as per your wish, unless and until you had a great start, right? Do not keep changing your career all the time, right? Okay. May not make you happy. A college degree doesn't guarantee employment throughout your career, right? Why it said so? Because you might be from a mechanical background and you opt for an IT job, and down the line you felt, hey, I'm done with IT. I don't want to do IT. Maybe 3 years after, I want to be a hardcore gearbox designer or kind of something mechanical stuff I wanted to do. Okay, good, go for it. But that time, when you look at your experience level and your college degree, may not go hand in hand. Yeah, that time you'll require something else to pick. That is your core strength. What do you know the best? Right? So, college degree does help, but not all the time. What helps all the time is knowledge that you gain and what you get on the plate to the company and what you get what you get out of your experience so far, right? So the commitment to lifelong learning will always help you other than the college degrees. College degrees will help you in getting the first job for sure, but down the line you will see that, okay, no, it's only the lifelong learning, what you gain out of your experiences, that's going to play a role. That will keep you employable all the time, right? So the more you know, the greater your marketability, the package for you. When you say package, it's not about money. It's about you as an individual getting such years of experience with the certificates and what you know. That's what the package we talk about. right? So guys, I'm stopping here for a minute. I'm more than happy to take any questions, anything that you wanted to go with. If you don't have a question, then I will come up with question, guys. Think of it. Okay, so you don't have, I'll have a question now. Let me pick a name. Okay, I cannot see any of you. Anyone who is wearing a red color dress, please raise your hand or say hi. Anyone is on a red color? No? Okay. I'll put up a question to Tanya. Tanya, can you hear me? Okay, she can't. Raki, can you hear me? Hey guys, doesn't seem you can hear me. Anyone who can hear me can unmute and say hi to me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, who is that? Ishita. Hey, how are you?
I'm good, sir.
Great. So Ishita, question for you. What do you want to be in your, how you want to build your career? What do you want to be?
Sir, I want to be an IAS officer.
Sorry. I couldn't hear you.
I want to go with UPSC.
You want to go with UPSC and where it heads to? You want to be an IS officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how do you prepare about it? What do you want to do about? Okay, how have you approached so far? Ishita, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how have you approached so far, Ishita? How are you going about it?
So I'm learning NCRTs, and after that I will go for UPSC materials. Then I
Okay,
think I will get it.
excellent. See, guys, we have an example. Ishita, she's all set for her career. I'm very happy to meet Ishita, who wants to take a different career of her choice instead of me. Okay, I put myself rather on the shoes, wherein I just took the way I wanted to be. Honestly, I do not wanted to do what I'm doing, but I am certainly trying to do what I wanted to do. Maybe next 5 years, I'll get on to that. Okay. I'm glad to meet you, Ishita. Anyone else wanted to share their experience, or else I'll pick some name down the line. Okay. I'm giving you a 30-second pause, guys. Anyone wants to talk about their career paths? If not, then I will get onto the slide. All right. I think we can got in here. All right. There is some. Okay. I didn't read this one. Okay. Okay, we're back to our slide. So here's the deal we will talk about. Factors to consider while you choose your career. There are a few do's and don'ts. Explore a number of careers and mark it as a major. Okay, so since Ishita is the only one who spoke about, I'll take her example. So she has a lot of career options as of today. She can get into an IT job, she can do a core engineering job, she can go to UPSC, she can go to anywhere else she wanted to. But her major is UPSC. So all options are on plate, but the major is UPSC for her. Now next, get involved. You wanted to do a particular thing, get involved in it. Think what all things will make me to reach what I wanted to do. Yeah? Get advice from people in your target occupation. I'm again going back to Ishita. She wanted to do UPSC. She has already taken the advice where she has to go with, right? Taking right piece of advice from people, going to the institution where she can learn more about it, start preparing for it, etc. Then follow your passion. Follow what you wanted to do. Okay? Dare to try something new, guys. That's a very good piece of thing which I have it on screen for you. Anything new is always comes with a risk and scary thing in mind, but trust me, if you add up ever points, that's going to be a fruitful one down the line for you. Be sure about it. Okay. Next is what you shouldn't do. Focus on a major just to get a career out of it. No, that's not the thing. As in, okay, everyone wants to join Microsoft. That's a major thing. But there is no point you get into Microsoft, but you wanted to do something else in your life. Select a major just because it is cool, as I was mentioning, or seems to be promised prestige. Yeah, I'm working in Microsoft. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Unless and until your heart says, your mind says, yes, this is what I want to do, don't do that. Let someone else push you into the job, as in, okay, I'm putting between inverted comma, guys. At times, our friends, families, they try to say, hey, you know what? This guy is doing great there. This guy is doing great there. Why don't you do this? Okay, why don't you do what they are doing? Don't do that. Unless and until you prepared for it. There is no harm in doing it, but unless and until you feel that's the right thing to do. Make sense? Okay. Assume that you have it all figured out. You think, okay, I'm all done, and I'm not going to do anything other than just sitting in the campus interview and cracking an interview. I'm all done. This is all good. So when you think of the last part, assume that you have all figured out, you will not have career options, or you may not be able to go with what you really wanted to do in your life. Right? So do not assume that you have right time at the right place. Do think over it and react on that. Right? Okay. So what are factors affecting career choices? So what it affects is the interest. What is your interest? What do you want to do? Skills, aptitudes, people skills, experience, family tradition, personality, life goals and values. Okay, guys, since I'm talking for quite long by now, you can see all this, right? Interest, skills. These are the prime things to get to your dream job, or you wanted to do something. These are the two things that will help you. Next is aptitudes, people skills, experience, family tradition. As in, okay, I'm a doctor, my son should be a doctor, my daughter should be a doctor. Don't go with it. Personality, okay, you know what? If I dress up I'll dress up a blazer, I'll look good, so I prefer to go as a lawyer. Yeah, I'd like to do that. No, that's not the way. Life goals and work values. What you want to achieve in your life. That's the thing you should opt for. Right? Okay. Now, again, I am taking a break, guys. Now we will go to a next person and talk about what is she wanted to be in her career. Okay. So I have Anchal. I have Ayushmita on the front row. Any of you guys, Anchal? Can you hear me? Ayushmita, can you hear me? Guys, the more interactive you will make the session, people will know about you and they will also take guidance from you. And you may get some guidance as well. So let's see if any of you can unmute. Anyone, guys? I see even Smita, Rani, Prachi, Archana. Any of you guys can unmute? Yes, can you do that? Hey, hall shouldn't look empty. This since only Ishita was front, brave enough to pick it. We got 30 odd participants, yeah? I'm sure one of you can pick. No questions, guys? But I have a question I wanted to ask. So, Prachi, can you hear me? Subransu, can they hear us? I'm just wondering. Subransu, you there?
Somaya, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, no problem. All right. So, exploring your interest. So, this is the famous Holland's hexagonal model of career fields. It doesn't restrict to it, but yes, it helps you in building your career, guys. Let me bring this up entirely, then I'll talk about it. So, there's 6 corners that you can look at it. One is realistic, conventional, enterprising, social, artistic, investigative. So what it says is you can pick one of this. When we talk about realistic, it's something which you do it and see it. Okay, you can touch and feel about it. Right? That's a career model. Investigative is all the lines that you pick on the law and order and anything which goes with a rule book, any rule book that goes in investigative. Artistic, you make media, you make a film industry, etc., etc. That's getting done. Social, we know how it works. Try to help people. That's a career two people prefer to go with. Then enterprising, you wanted to be an entrepreneur, go for it, guys. And the next one is conventional, is the study line, is the research line, right? So these are the 6 pillars as per the model being built. You can opt any career out of this. These are the broadly classified ones, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So you have to choose where you want to go with. Right? So once you decide where you want to go with, just pick that and get along. Right. Now where to go for help. So we spoke a lot. Where to go for help? I'm there, guys, in the call in case you have a question. If you don't, then I'm getting to the next one. So people like me or anyone who is experienced in a particular domain, you can talk to them. To start with, you can speak to a career center, a faculty, upper class students. If you are if you are graduating, you can talk to the postgraduate student. They'll also help you. Student organizations, placement services. Ask someone in your chosen field. As I mentioned, so if I work in IT and I work in a particular domain, if that interests you, do talk to me. I can guide you at least to a good extent. And if not, I'm the expert, I can tell you who can guide you. Right? It's always good to have helped. Right? Cool. Your network also helps. You had seen LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Facebook. I'm sure you guys might have created an account by now. If not, do create it. That's very good to have your career built in. So check with the people you know about career information. Networking also makes your career strengthen because a similar thought of people, when they are in the network, they can guide you where to go, where not to go. And the opportunities in different companies or organizations, right? It's always an effective practice. always be in touch with people of your area of interest. More and more professionals are active on all these pages. Okay, so the page which I have not mentioned here is Dostang. Dostang is not widely accepted in India. That's why I have not put that logo here. But I encourage each of you to be a part of LinkedIn and Glassdoor. Glassdoor doesn't require a big time profile creation. So, but yeah, be a part of it to know how the organization and industry standards are. Okay. So, what to look for in a career, guys? As I mentioned in the earlier slide, major career field target. You have to create a major and minor in a field target. Okay, major means where your inclination is. 90% of the load should take the major. Preferred type of work. What do you want to do? You want to develop something. You want to be in IT. You want to do manufacture something. Income requirements. Is it okay to make big money from start? There is a pressure for you, or you can go with the moderate start and think of career or interest as a priority. Geographical requirement. You wanted to be in India, you wanted to be in a particular city, in a particular state. Special needs. Okay, I want to be a developer, but I want to be, I will work only from home, and I want to be a flexible working hours too. Yeah, that's specific. Industry preference. I want to work only in Microsoft or Google. Yeah. Stress level. Okay. Can I handle stress? Can I work for 10 hours a day? Can I work for 14 hours a day? Or can I work only for 6 hours a day? Yeah. Level of interaction with other people. Do I need to talk? Am I talkative? Am I required to go and get along with people all the time? Or can I just sit and work? If I can sit and work, I prefer to sit and work and get into an organization where it allows me to do so. Right? Indoor versus outdoor. I prefer to visit a lot of places. I'll pick a job of salesman or into sales. Okay. Indoor, I wanted to sit and work. Maybe an IT job will do for me. Amount of independence. I want to be an individual contributor. So you will have a lot of rules coming up, or you can have a lot of jobs coming up these days where you can just deal as an individual contributor, and there is no pressure on you, and there you enjoy your independence. Yeah. Balance between creative and conventional task. If you are creative enough and the job is convincing you, then you pick it. Okay. Next is the type of people you interact with. Physical requirement. Can you stand and work for long hours? If not, think over it. Local, national, international organization, which one you wanted to pick. Benefits and perks. A lot of people give stress to this also. Advancement opportunities, wherein you feel that, okay, hey, I joined as a trainee. I wanted to keep growing in my career. I want to see myself as so and so position in next 10 years. These are also a key factor that you should think of while building up your career. A good boss. You wanted to have a good boss, then you can think whom you wanted to pick. It's very difficult to say a good boss to be picked, but yeah, if you know him, you can think of joining the organization and can get along. Training. Training is always interesting to take, but what do you want to get out of the training? So there are two ways people take training. One is they get trained and they prefer to sell the fruit outside the company, wherein I want to change the company, so I want to get trained and get moving. Second is people wanted to do on the job training, wherein they want to accelerate themselves in the current position. So be specific about it. What training would you like to have? Right? Industry outlook, where you wanted to go, which industry you wanted to go in. Right? Or the industry, what they are doing, how they are doing. right? Reputation of the firm, as I was mentioning, you wanted to say to your relatives that, hey, I'm working in this company, that's a brand name matters, and you pick this one too. Okay, fair deal. Now this comes my favorite part wherein I know a little about it and we can talk. And this comes to the last slide of my presentation, guys. We'll talk more about IT. So IT gives you wide range of flavors within itself, wherein what I've mentioned is not restricted to the rules, but yes, what it gives is you can be a developer, a support specialist, a DBA, an artificial intelligence expert, or a big data engineer, infrastructure management, business development. You can be in sales and management, etc., etc. Okay, so choice is all yours. I'm more than happy to talk about any of these if your interest pulls in. If not, the last part, the key to success. So far, as for me and from few other handbooks, what I gathered is you upgrade yourself. Don't get stagnant in your career, irrespective of any role you pick. You have to keep upgrading yourself. Look beyond the horizon. When you have to think out of the box, you cannot just do what has been given to you. Think why it is required, when it is required, where it is required, how it is required, and then do it. You do question yourself that, okay, whatever I'm doing, is it the best thing or can I make it better? Right? The next comes in is go get attitude. In company, in any of the organization, in fact, irrespective of the field, people prefer to have a go and get attitude, wherein we do not require more of hands-on, more of hand-holding thing. Okay, I've given you the task, you just complete it and come to me. Do not come back to me all the time asking, okay, hey, how to do it, right? So you have to develop that attitude. Last but not the least, guys, discipline and a little bit of luck. Maintain the discipline, and I'm sure a bit of luck. That's my inner feeling that if you have little of luck, then that helps you getting into the stream that you wanted to be in. Yeah. So, guys, I'm done with my presentation. I have nothing more to share. I will keep the floor open for questions. I'm sure it is. We have a lot of time in hand. Anyone has any question, please go for it. We got full house people, yeah?
Yes, sir. Any students, those who want to clarify their doubts, they can pick up their doubts regarding their career options, career opportunities, and they can get benefit from Mr. Nayak's opinion and expertise.
More than happy to answer, guys. Anything you wanted to know about? As in how to start, what to do, or which path you wanted to be in, your areas of interest, anything you wanted to. Okay.
Soumya,
Yeah.
can you tell a little bit because what are the except the from the IT sector, the job opportunity for the IT, the engineering students, particularly the IT students. Okay, what are the other sectors, the what kind of opportunities are available, particularly for the fresh graduates?
Sure. Thank you for asking that question. For sure, the next 5 years looks like a great year for college pass outs, the trainees. Okay, that's going to be a demand in market by being very particular about auto sectors, mechanical, and also into civil towards architect part. Okay, the more it's not restricting to IT only, but when you look at it, auto sector, we are slowly moving from the traditional diesel and petrol engines to the automatic gears, then the electric vehicles, etc. So that certainly brings up an opportunity for a lot of mechanical and automobile engineers to gear up. First, second, India is also exploring with this Make in India efforts. A lot of companies are coming in, not only in Pune but across India horizon, wherein mechanical companies are building up their bases, particularly from German, and they are building big time here. They are building big time companies here. In fact, Indian companies are making their plans bigger and better. So there is a big scope wherein we want to wash out the old talents, rather old technology. Let me put it in this way: old technology and build the new one. So picking up something new is very much inclination attitude from a fresher instead of an experienced person, right? So I get a fresher in the market and start training him or her. It's very easy for me to get a grip on. Now, similarly, if you look at it, the architecture side, which I have stressed upon, across India, we are building roads, infrastructure, then dams, etc., and that's going to be there for next long years. Okay, so I'm sure these three are a venturing one, and they are going to evolve big time. They are going to evolve big time.
So, particularly, I'm talking about the opportunity for the electronics and the the triple E student, ECE and triple E student. Okay, and that is the obviously there is some opportunity in the IT sector, but they are a little bit interested in the core sector. So, what are the core sectors available for them? Particularly for the fresh BTechs.
Okay, communication side, if you look at this point in time, all the service provider are merging, and you can also see that slowly the internet era is bringing all things under one roof, wherein you have okay. I'll talk from a ground level wherein everyone can understand it. If you had seen the ad of Airtel Black guys, okay, that covers your internet, your DTH connection, your mobile connection, etc., etc. And how does that work? Okay, that works only because of electronic engineer who are working on the switch level, okay, and ensuring you get one unique ID for maintaining everything. Okay, so if one service provider is doing it, means all service provider will come up with the same plan. So when they do that, they require resources and they require brains, which you have. And for sure, these things will evolve big time, and that's going to accelerate job. Either you talk about communication front, or you talk about electronics as a core industry. Now, if you talk about electronics as a core industry, even everything is getting slicker. All the electronics that we were using one point in time and what we are using today is slicker. Day by day, it is getting slicker. So for sure, what I see, there will be a high demand on the core sector, and people are inclining about it, and they are doing best of their efforts. And I'm sure it's going to evolve big time. There is no showstopper.
Yes, sir. And sir, I would like to also emphasize on you that the students, how the students can get some own entrepreneurship ideas, and how the government is trying to build up the startup culture, means smaller startup culture with a college groups or college level startups and all. Can you have a brief of it?
Uh, well, startup is the best thing that everyone wants to try at this point in time, and it's the right time to try. In fact, you have an idea, you wanted to sell this, I'm sure you'll able to grow out of it. But how to set the startup, there is a guideline on that. We have to go through it. I have not done a lot of research on the startup, but yes, people do that, and they have immense success in that, provided your idea stands out. Your idea, whichever you want to sell, if that stands out, you are in the win-win race. Okay, so first thing comes for a startup is the idea, and the idea should contain for next 5 years. That's the horizon that people look for. If the idea is new and it's going to sell in the market, it will be competitive, it will be verified with the stakeholders, then it will come true. The name itself makes sense to go with startup, provided you have the right amount of energy in it. Dr. Suvanshu, does that answer your question a bit?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
very much
So
thumbs up there.
yeah. So when you are ready with your startup ideas, then you have then you can go to the site of startupindia.government.in. Okay. Then you have to publish it. You have the guidelines. But first, your idea have to populate, which has to be unique, not much with anyone, and have to have a 5-year vision from the current one, at least 5 years. Right? Okay. Any more question? Can I answer? Can I help?
Any students who want to ask any questions regarding their idea for a future career, just starting from their bachelor's day, they are all welcome.
Actually, Dr. Shurans, what you mentioned is absolutely a great point about startup. So it will be interesting to know if anyone in the room has something in mind.
Yes, sir. Actually, our students, some did boys, couple of boy students, they did some thing and they were asking for the startup and all. That's why, but I think they are
Yeah.
not here. But the girl students also can benefit from the idea of that they can also start a startup and they can also
Yeah.
contribute something to the society.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the best thing to do at this point in time. And government is very much supportive. Not only government, even people are supporting, right? You look at the startups like the way Paytm has been built one point in time and where it stands today. Right? I do not think anyone has any question. I hope everyone got the point. Unless you have any
Yes,
question,
sir.
we can wrap up the show. Feel free to
Yes,
reach
sir.
out to me, guys. Maybe Dr. Subhanshu or Dr. Mohanty sir can help.
Yes, sir. We
Let me know.
will publicize your email address and profiles throughout the student
Sure,
fraternity.
will do. No problem.
Yes, sir.
I'm good then. I think we are good to close.
Thank you, Soumya, for sharing your views and interacting with the student. I hope the student has they may not they might not discuss with you many things, but might be there are several questions are in their mind. They might be some few of them might be in the later. They will reach out to you and get some what that is the your suggestions or something.
Will
Okay.
do.
Hope you will help them.
Absolutely, absolutely. My pleasure. Absolutely, my
Okay,
pleasure.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.